Here we have a 2008 Land Rover HSE supercharged key fob that came in for repair. I'm going over the customer's ticket to see what he wrote. Key fob have wear and tear and barely works. That's all what the customer wrote. Nice and simple. And that's the key fob. It looks like the plastic broke off from here, so the buttons and the circuit board exposed. A lot of dust, a lot of debris inside here. And this fob is the flip key version, just like the Mercedes-Benz key fob, and I have one on my bench here that we need to fix. The Benz fob looks something like this. That's one of the older Benz fobs where you press to release the key. And for this one, for the Land Rover one, the customer mailed over a donor empty fob to use, because in order to open it to expose the circuit board, you need to break off the case. There's no other way. Just like Mercedes-Benz, if I want to open this fob to expose the circuit board, I need to physically break that fob, or I need to grind and cut open the edges of the fob until I get access to the board. So with Land Rover it's different. Why is it different? Because it looks like the customer mailed over a battery also that we need to solder onto the board. Not only is it difficult to remove the motherboard from this one, where we have to break the physical shell to access the battery, but we also have to solder the battery. Unlike the Benz key fob, we can just release that cover and change batteries. So Benz made it easy to change the battery on this one, but Land Rover, you need to go to a dealership and pay $1,000 to get another fob. There's absolutely no easy way to change the battery on this fob unless you physically break it. And if you do break the fob, you need to get a replacement shell like what the customer did. The customer was probably aware that it's a nightmare to change the battery on this fob, because not only you have to take the motherboard out, but you also have to solder that battery onto the board. And that's why he mailed it over with a battery that we have right here, and he mailed a replacement shell right here. How are we going to open this fob? The way I open Benz key fobs is I get two pliers and I just split open the housing. I think that's what we're going to do. If you go online, you will find some people that use their razor blade to cut through the edges. I do not know how that will work, but we can try it. And in the process, we can cut a couple of fingers when that blade slips. Easy. I'm doing it like this, away from my fingers. But it looks like nothing is happening with that cutting, even though I'm using a razor blade. Maybe we can heat up the plastic to make it a bit soft. The design of the fob is not user-friendly in any way, shape, or form. Why can't you make it in a way where you can easily press a button to pop it open and access the board? Why do you have to seal it like there's no tomorrow? What's the reason? Batteries will eventually go bad. And when the battery does go bad, how is the user or the customer going to change the battery on that fob? How? Why couldn't you make a back cover where the customer can take out the back cover and replace the battery? And why does the battery have to be soldered onto the board? A lot of questions. If you have answers, let me know. It looks like the razor is not doing anything. Let me try to chisel the seam here, the edge. Right here in the middle. Unbelievable. That plastic is hard like a rock. Look. Just look at this. I used all my force and that plastic did not even flinch. Let's try to hit from the sides here. Maybe we can create an opening. Removed this piece, which goes right here. So right now, using 2 pliers, I was able to create an opening right here, but still, it's not gonna give up that easy. Let me see if we apply a little bit of heat. We're almost there. If you look here, we're almost there. Let's see if using hot air will help, just to make the plastic a bit soft. We're gonna apply hot air on the sides. Maybe that's the proper way of doing it. I never applied hot air to a shell before. And somebody came in. Let's try it now. Right there, I'm able to open it just from the back, not from the front. But the fob is still stuck from the bottom here. Look, we are able to open it. We are able to open it that much, but the fob is still stuck from the bottom. Almost there. Let's try to hit the plastic from the bottom. And maybe it's safer if I use a goggle, because something may snap and go right in my pupil. If I try to get something in my pupil on purpose, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm going to miss. But when you are doing something like this, something will snap and go straight to the pupil. So I had to break off that piece right here. Maybe I should wear gloves, because that board does not look good. Every bacteria in the world is stuck on that board. Everything from fingers to fingerprints, dust, debris, rain, COVID, everything. You have a jungle here. Giraffes and elephants everywhere. Can I remove that board just like that? Yeah. So I'm able to remove the board, but we're gonna have to remove this key. I'll do it later. Just want to look at the board under the microscope. What in the world is going on? Look at this. Look at the condition of this fob. And the battery is right over here. So what I'm going to do is solder a new battery and we'll test. Let's do the anti-glare light. And the board is looking a lot better. From 0 to hero. Let's flip the board. A lot of viewers are waiting for the microscopes to be back in stock. We should have them within maybe a week. We've done a lot of customizations to the scope. And the first thing you will notice is a red color and not black. We went with red. Okay, so now we need to desolder the battery, and we do that from the back. You see what you have to go through to change the battery on a Land Rover fob? Unbelievable. Not only you have to break the shell to remove the motherboard, but now you have to desolder and solder a new battery. We have one joint here. Where's the other one? Possibly one here, right there. One here and one here. And the battery is out. And the battery the customer mailed over does not come with the plastic housing, so we need to remove this one from the black plastic housing, and we need to put the new battery inside. Just yet another step that you need to do. So we are done with the soldering of the battery, and I just broke what's left of that shell to remove the key. And if this key is like the Benz key fob, we have to put this one here. We're gonna have to screw it counterclockwise. We can do like 2 turns. One more time. See what's happening? The new shell, the key on the new shell, the one that's not usable, is thin, and the customer's key is thick. So the plastic is pressing on the key, and that's why it's hard to get the key down or up. That's not the original Land Rover shell, and the customer will have to deal with this. The plastic that's closing up on the key is tight, because if you look at this key and that one, you will see that this one is much thinner, and it's the one that came with the shell. But that's not a big deal. The buttons click, and that's how you change the battery on a Land Rover key fob. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Leave it down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll do something else in the next video.